What's going on, my special bean brothers and sisters? We are back at it again with another figure review. This time we got Cell, the first form, in the house and ready to get him out of the box. A lot of you already have him, and I just wanted to know your opinions on the actual figure itself, while I'm going to list my opinions on this video. Alright guys, let's stop rambling and let's get into it. Okay guys, here we finally have Cell first form out of the box and onto the rotating stand. First things first, I'm just gonna say that this dude is really tall. Now granted that the size comparisons and the scaling really isn't up to scale when it comes to SH Figuarts. If you are collecting SH Figuarts just solely for the scaling, you might be a little disappointed. I mean, Dragon Stars would kind of be a more better fit for that if you're into looking into that. But I just want to say he is really tall, massive, doesn't really have a lot of bone or muscle mass on him, but the color on him, and especially the black freckles on him, they're kind of like engraved in him, which looks really nice when you kind of get up and close with him. They look really good. And the front on him, the aesthetics wise, looks really good, just like he should in the anime. I never really knew he had that big brain in the back of his head. I don't really remember that. I mean, granted, it wasn't really in the anime, it wasn't really showing us the back of his head. It's just that big forehead V fin that he has like in the front. My dude looks like a grasshopper, like straight up grasshopper. I did like when he first came out in the anime, because I remember watching it when I was younger, and it was just kind of like borderline scary. I was like, yo, what is Dragon Ball Z turning into? This dude's like stabbing people with his thorn like tail, and he's sucking up their energy, and it just had like a eerie, I don't know, like an eerie kind of scary vibe to it, that when it's like people in the city were getting all sucked up out of their clothes, and it's like, oh, what, who's doing it? And you're like, wait, it's a new threat. But little did we know, it's Dr. Gero's ultimate creation after the androids. So that's enough me rambling on. Let's get him off of the rotating stand and into the articulation. Okay, so when it comes to other articulation, everybody knows we start from head to toe like we always do. So he's able to look up pretty much this much. Let me see, yeah, this much, and then kind of look down. Let me see, pretty good right here, which isn't bad. He can move his neck, which isn't a problem. He can kind of look down at you. That's a really nice shot right there, and like look at his eyes. I just kind of want to take a second to kind of look at his eyes. My boy is like on demon time right now, like the slit in his eyes, like cats do, like cats have. And he kind of has like an open mouth right here, kind of like, yeah, I'm ready to suck you up, no pun intended. So the next thing I kind of want to talk about is the articulation right here on the back. So they're kind of like on these small like pegs right here, but my right one, I mean, it looks nice, it looks cool. My dude looks like a straight up bug or grasshopper, but the one on my right keeps kind of like falling off. If you kind of pull it off too much, as you can see, it will come off. I guess I probably will put some maybe adhesive on there, but I won't lose the ability to turn it down and turn it up. So the next thing is his tail. So it connects at 1, 2, 3, 4 spots right here. So the first spot right here, let me see if I can get closer. It's able to rotate. It's like on a ball joint right here, and then you have the second spot, which is this part right here, and then you have the other spot, which is right here, and then you have the last spot, which is his tail. And you can take this part out, so that way you can put the other tail effect piece. Oops. So that's it for his not so normal articulation. The tail doesn't really weigh him down. If you kind of set it right, it really just won't weigh him down like that. Actually, hold on. I think my chicken nuggets are done. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. Yep, it was my nuggets that I ended up putting in the oven before I started this review. It said it was gonna take 20 minutes, but I guess they're ready now. Didn't realize I was doing it for this long, setting up. So anyways, moving on to his arm. He has articulation like this. His shoulder can come up so you can get better range and motion if need be. You have a swivel right here at the bicep, so that's nice. You have, let's see if he's been to the gym. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of scrawny, but this is as much as you're gonna get. Swivel right here at the wrist, so not bad. So not bad articulation for the arm. He has like kind of two, I want to say like two cuts right here on the abdomen. It's this top part right here where you kind of see, but it doesn't really, I'm not really getting any real range of motion by doing that. But let me see. Yeah, I mean, he can bend about this much from the back on his lower abdomen, so that's not bad. Onto his legs. Now his legs, I was kind of like bummed about, or his thighs. You see how these pieces are kind of like sticking out, so you can get some range of motion. Like if you lift his leg up, that's as much as like it'll go, but you have to kind of manipulate it. Let me see. Turn it to the side so that way you can kind of get it up. Does he have bends at the knees? Yep, bends at the knees right there, so that's pretty good. And then he has, let's see, foot articulation that goes about down this much, goes up about this much, and then he does have swivel on there on the legs or the feet. So yeah, not bad. Let me see how far his leg can kind of go out this much, but as you can see, the hip piece right there kind of hinders him, his scales. But that's it for the articulation. Let's go ahead and take a look at his accessories. Okay, so when it comes to Cell's accessories, we start with the face plates. So the first face plate that we get right here is him kind of like, let me see. Okay, yeah, him kind of like looking straight, which doesn't look too bad. He's looking straight, not saying anything. He's ready for the get down. Next faceplate we got is this one right here. He's kind of like has his mouth open, kind of like the other one. The other one is like a smiling one, but this one is kind of like looking off. It's supposed to be looking off to the side, like as if he was about to do like a Kamehameha. Nice detail in there, even with the black scales or freckles, I don't know what you want to call them. And then this one, the most animated face out of the face plates, him just like full blown out Kamehameha or solar flare, however you want to call it. Just look at the detail in his eyes, especially on the scales right there. This is done really nice. And this kind of brings me to the next headpiece, which is not the headpiece, it's more like the headgear, I guess the head fin. So you get an extra one besides the one that comes on with him in the package. And this, what it's going to be used is more like a dynamic, like an exaggerated look. It's more for like the eyebrows. So you see how the eyebrows kind of do like this arch thing right there above his eyes. So you're going to be using this fin for this face, so that way he can get more facial expression, kind of like what they did with Frieza First Form. You know how they have like two headpieces for him, but it's mainly just for the eyebrows. So that's what this mainly is. Yep, so that looks nice right there. Moving on to the hand pieces. So you get a pair of just kind of like resting hand pieces right here. Him just chilling, looking menacing with that. Next, you're going to get a pair of so you get like it's weird. You kind of get two of these. So this to me is more like a grabbing hand, or maybe like it could be like him charging up a Kamehameha. But I feel like this would be something to use for like grabbing somebody's throat or something. Because then the next pair of hands you get are these like Kamehameha hands. Or blast hands. Grabby hands. So you get a pair of those. And then finally, you get a pair of blast hands. Or him just making it to the scene. Iron Man pose. And then the last accessory that we get is this kind of the tailpiece for when he ends up absorbing the androids. And this is basically used for like the end piece of his tail. You take off the existing end piece and then you put this alternate effect piece on there. So that is that. There's a little detail on the inside. You kind of see all that black. But I don't really understand why, because there should have been detail on the outside instead of the inside. That's kind of weird. I don't know. But with all that being said, I'm going to put as much accessories on him and then I'll give my final thoughts. Okay guys, here is Cell with as much accessories as I can put on him for the meantime, because I do want to do somewhat of a size comparison with him and some of the androids. So all in all, is he a great figure for what we got? Yes. But is that saying much? No, because I'll tell you why. So the back piece, for me, the wings could have been done a little bit better. I don't know if it's just mine or everybody else's, but my wings kind of tend to fall off a little bit more than usual, but nothing that super glue or any adhesive can't really fix. The tail kind of looks weird, but if you're gonna have an articulated tail, you gotta have some joints so that way it can actually move around and be articulated. So it just kind of looks weird in pictures. I already got done taking some pictures of it. As far as like the movement, I wish the movement kind of would have been done better on the hips and the chest pieces, because he feels just so stiff. It feels like the best kind of pose to get him in is somewhat this pose, and his when he's just like standing up and he's being introduced into the anime and he's just standing straight talking about like, yeah, my name is Cell. Like, I feel like those are the only two poses you're gonna really kind of get out of this guy. He's not one of my favorites as far as the figure goes, but as far as the character, he is one of my favorite villains. This form, and especially the second form. The second form, I really love that form, because my dude was just like toying with Android 16 and as well as 18. I don't know, I did like that feel. But when it comes to this form, yeah, he's just literally one of my favorites. Actually, let me grab some of the androids real quick and do a side-by-side comparison. Okay guys, real quick, I went ahead and put on the accessory of the absorbing tail, and you see it scales well with Android 17. On to the next. Here he is with Android 18, looking really good. Like I said, like both of them, they just look really good together. I can't wait to have like all four of them on top of the shelf. Let's see how he does with Android 16. And here he finally is with him right here. As you can see, Android 16 just kind of is a smidge bit bigger than him. Even when they stand up straight, they're almost kind of the same height if it wasn't for Cell's fins that kind of go way up. So that's the comparison right there. Alright guys, that's going to wrap this video up on Cell First Form. Let me know in the comment section below if he's going to be a pass or grab. Major Piccolo's shout out to everybody supporting since day one. And like I've said, the channel is lazy, but the movement ain't.